Hi YouTube, please give me a moment while I connect to Facebook. We'll be getting started shortly. Alright, should be live on Facebook. Good morning everybody and welcome to today's video. I'm Sami Abasad, Director of Education at T3 Live. Hope you're doing well and welcome again to the weekly broadcast. We're going to get started shortly here. We're going to go over the market and go over some amazing swing ideas for next week. But as always, before we start, a standard required disclaimer to let you know that trading is risky and whatever I discuss in this video is for educational purposes only. If you'd like to download a copy of my free ebook, link for that is in the description below. Also, if you find benefit in today's video, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button. That helps support our channel. And lastly, if you have any questions, please be sure to email us info@t3live.com. All right, and that is all that I need to say before we jump right in. So first, I like to go over the market, and then we'll go over the swing ideas, of which I have a number of really great setups. The market. Every week I do this weekly video, and I come on and I tell you with kind of exact detail what I'm expecting, and I tell you, the exact support or resistance levels that if broken through, then that's, if this breaks, then expect that. If this happens, then I'm expecting that, so I tell you with exact detail what I'm expecting. For next week, it's a tough call because I feel like we have a top here. We've topped out in the market, but the uptrend is very, very strong. We have a 45-degree rising 20 right below, especially on the SPY and the IWM. So I feel like we don't have a whole lot of room to fall, but at the same time, especially on the Qs, I feel like this should be a top for now, like for the near-term future. So maybe we will continue to chop around. Actually, last week was pretty difficult for the swing trades because a lot of the swing trades that I've had for the last 3-4 weeks, a lot of them trailed out in the dozens probably. So it was a bad week, but a lot of it was because the plays were just getting trailed out. Okay. So going forward is a little bit more difficult. Like I said, I feel like we have a short-term top, but we also have a tight uptrend in place on the daily chart. So are we gonna try to go higher and fail, in which case maybe lower, or are we going to go higher, then come in maybe and then go back up? Don't know. So it's day by day for me next week. I know the monthly is at a good spot to break down, especially on the Qs monthly chart. That's a pretty good spot to come back in, assuming we are still bearish long term. Short term we bottomed, okay, but long term, if we're still bearish, then this would be a good spot for the market to come in from. So that's the issue. It's really, really hard because the monthly is still bearish, perhaps at an area where we should come in from get a sell-off from. At the same time, the daily is in a tight uptrend, so it's tough. It's day by day for me, and then we'll just adjust, make adjustments as need be on the go. All right, that's kind of my view on the market. In terms of the swing ideas, I got some nice ones. If you're a subscriber to the Strategic Swing Trader, feel free to log on to your customer portal, go to subscription resources, and then access the tracking sheet, which has all the plays listed already for Monday. But if you would like to just wait until the email comes out, it should hit your inbox by 8 a.m. on Monday morning. All right, so here's what I got bullish first. I got APTX long over 73 cents, stop under this bar's low. It looks good on the daily, it looks even better on the weekly. All right, so that's the APTX. It's a penny stock, I guess, but it's got a nice base breakout. Okay, The ATHX, another low price stock that I was in, but I got shaken out, and not Friday, but this day. So I believe that's when I got shaken out. It looks higher over $2. Okay, it looks higher over $2. Stop under 140 and target room to about 350 to 4 on the ATHX. BA long-term trade, like it over 119 and some change, 119.20 I think. See, oh no, that's I'm sorry, 219. That's I guess just over 219 is enough. I don't know why I thought it was over. Yeah, 219 is enough. And then stop, I would use 203 as a long-term trade. Notice how Boeing didn't come in at all, and it's just been in a super bullish uptrend. Okay, so I like it over the base, stop under it as a long-term trade. Okay, BEKE is one of the very few Chinese stocks that did not come in with FXI last week. FXI started to break down. FXI is coming into support, by the way. The 200 MA on the daily and then the 20 MA on the weekly. Soon enough. I mean, soon. So we may see FXI go back up, but the one that stayed at the highs is the BEKE, and it would be a long over the whole number, $20. Stop under 17, I think. It's 17.40. Long-term trade, room to $40 on the BEKE. BERY has a daily buy sell. Also VNet, but it's not quite ready. It didn't come in much either. It's a Chinese stock that has a pretty good monthly, better weekly. So okay, VNet. BERY is a daily buy setup, so that's a pullback long. I would say over about 62.60, 62. Let's say 84. Stop under the green bars low, and then target about the prior 65, the prior high. On the BERY, the BYD is had a base and it had a gap and then a base, so it's a base breakout on the daily or 1, 2, 3 on the weekly, higher to the prior highs up here. Okay, on the BYD, CXW and the GEO are prison stocks, so they have 1, 2, 3 patterns. So long over 1155. Stop under 1117. Because the initial bar was so huge, I often give it a little bit more, you know, when placing the stop, I don't put it right under, I give it a little bit more room, so maybe under like $11 or under even, you know, 1070, to just make sure you don't get shaken out. The GEO is similar also. It's a base breakout over the daily highs. Stop either right here or under the lows, and then it looks pretty good on the monthly on GEO. Transitioned already and has room to $20 or so. That's not quite 20, that's 18. So that's the GEO. All right, so GEO, CXW we already went over. DHT looks good on the monthly. DHT, look at the daily, 1, 2, 3, and over the prior high too. So long, stop. Okay, that's the DHT. ETN is also a 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's the breakout, the narrow range bar, another bar, and so it triggered already on Friday, but I say not too late still. I would think it's not too late. Over the bar's high, stop right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. When you have a breakout bar followed by one inside bar, that's called a 1, 2, 3 pattern. If you have two inside bars, the green bar wasn't quite an inside bar, but you get the point. The breakout bar and then the small bars relative to the breakout bar. And so you got a 1, 2, 3, 4 on the ETN. GEO we went over. GILD reminds me a little bit of BA because I like it long term. I was in GILD as an earnings play last quarter from here, and then I don't know which day it trailed me out, maybe this day, maybe that day, but I was in it from here to there. But the problem is, because I took it as an earnings play, I did it with very small size, like 10K worth of shares, I believe is what I got. So it's very small, and it never gave a good playable setup. The best setup, and still doesn't really have a great setup, but the best setup that I see now is just over the base and then stop under it right here. And what I like about the GILD is the monthly chart has been in a downtrend, or had been in a downtrend up until a few months ago, since 2015. Pulled in from 120 to basically 60 bucks. Oh, something is up with the internet. No, it should be good. So now I'd like to play it over here long and then target 120 minimum. Okay, so I like it a lot, but it doesn't have a great setup. It really doesn't. That's the GILD longer term trade. HLX oil energy, and it's been on fire. Energy stocks, especially last couple of days. So long over the base, stop under it. Looks pretty good. HPE tech stock, and it looks higher over here. So that would be 1655, stop under 1589, and has a lot of room, but it's gonna need the market. It's a market stock, so I would expect it to break over all that all the resistance levels here and reach the prior highs if the market continues to be bullish. That's the HPE. We got LEVI daily buy setup. It's actually more of a W pattern. So long, technically speaking, supposed to be over 1833. One can also get in under over 1811. Stop under the red bars low. It's a daily buy setup. NEO is another daily buy setup, similar to the LEVI, in that you have kind of a W pattern. Long over the neckline break, so that's the neckline. Stop either under the higher low or under the previous low, whatever you want. It just depends on how aggressive you are. And then target, this is gonna have to be, the target will have to be off the weekly. So this bar is high. That's gonna be resistance around $18 would be the target on the NEO. The OLN daily buy setup also. Buy setup means pullback. So you have an uptrend and then a pullback. So we got a daily buy setup. It triggered already on Friday by like 10 cents or so. It's not late. Over $62. Stop under 59.78. 59.78. Target the prior high. It may even exceed it because it's starting with a wide range green bar, which is really, really bullish. VKTX already an open position, but it's got a 1, 2, 3. So long stop. If you want to be safe, one can also put the stop under the green bar, the big green bars low. All right, so that's the VKTX, super bullish stock. Weatherford is a 1, 2, 3, 4. Oil stock also. So long over Thursday's high, 67.34, stop under 64.27. No target since it's at all-time high. UNG, I got it at 833, over 833, so probably 834, 835. I don't remember the exact fill. And I raised the stop. I had another green bar the next day, and then I raised the stop to under that bar's low. I got stopped out. I shouldn't have, but whatever. I got out of it, and it still looks good. So over $9 or $8.92. Okay, stop under $8 on the UNG. It dropped really hard to the all-time low to support. I don't know if it's the all-time low. I guess it is, yeah. To the all-time low. That's natural gas. So I like it higher, even just to here would be amazing. Messed up the initial trade, but I may look to get back in it. That's the UNG. The ZIM is the last one on the list, and I like it. Had it as a breakout, but I trailed out of a lot of different plays last week. For profit, most of them, but I still didn't enjoy it because a lot of them I give back a lot. Long stop. So the entry for this would be over $23.50, stop under $21. And target, this could be a longer term trade because it's just bottoming on the daily. So it looks good higher. And then the short list, the bearish list, we have APTX, which was a nice gap on Thursday, was a nice trade for me that day. Now has a 1, 2, 3, so under 12 by 1260, and target the prior low around 1065. This reminds me a little bit of the Blink, I think, which is an open position. So gap down, 1, 2, 3, and it almost got to target on Friday. $10 was the target. Actually has room to 985. So this is similar, I would say. Similar gap, in fact better gap, but not as bearish. Like this is bullish, the fact that it gapped over so many red bars over here. At any rate, I like it lower to about 1065 on the APPS. The BBD is an ADR, most days doesn't really move at all, but I also like the gap a lot on it, or the breakdown. It's not a real gap because basically it traded overseas from here to there. So, and in the US it just matches, it simply matches the closing price overseas, but I still like it lower. The chart looks lower. So here's a crazy idea, but if it works, it'll be amazing. Under 243 by 249, 7-cent stop basically. So it looks really, really nice. Bill, I had a call on it last week, but it didn't trigger as a 123. Instead, it went back up. So now it has a 123 on the weekly chart, and with room below, and with a tradable void below. So it looks good as a breakdown. Maybe target. That's 25 bucks. I don't know if it's gonna get there. I think that's 25. Yeah, that's about 25, maybe 30. So it has a lot of room to go under this bar's low, which is $91 basically. It would be the entry on the bill. EA had a very bearish gap based at the lows, but it is pretty sloppy. So under the base, stop over that green bar's high. On the EA, the green bar's high would be 114.50, let's just say. And the entry would be under the lowest point in this base, which I don't remember what it was. Probably 111.39 is the lowest point. So short under it, stop over 114.50. GTLB is a 123, looks good, but not a lot of R to R. So target would be right about here, entry right there. So yeah, this is low R to R, but it looks really pretty. HLF, like a lot, is a weekly sell setup. So check out the weekly sell setup right here. So I like it under last week's low. Short, stop, instead of putting it over the weekly pivot, one can use maybe the daily base. Okay, notice the breakout with no follow-through pattern. I call this BONFT. So you have a breakout, and then the breakout bar, this bar is a breakout, and the breakout bar is followed by an inside bar. If the inside bar's low gets taken out, usually that breakout ends up failing. So raise your stop to that inside bar's low. Normally is what I do. As you can see, that's exactly what happened. Breakout, inside bar, should have been out if one was in it right away. I mean the next day at the open. So either way, now it has a weekly sell setup. So under the base, stop above it. We played it long at the end of last year, from here to there, and it continued much higher. So that was a nice play last year. NLY is a 123, so short under 21.45, stop over 22, and target maybe 18, maybe 18. PAGS is a weekly sell setup / daily base breakdown. It's very similar to the HLF. So short, stop, and target. But the HLF looks a little bit better to me. Okay. STE is a 123, similar to the NLY, but even better. Short, stop, and I would say target right here. Okay. On the STE, and then lastly is the Tyson, which had a gap down and then a base. So under the base, stop above it. I don't know about the R to R on Tyson. I think it's a little bit low because there's all that support below right here. So it may be not the highest reward to risk, and therefore I'm planning on to pass on it, but we'll see how things shake out next week. And that is it for this week. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and until next time, this is Sami Abasad with T3 Live. Best of luck with your trading next week. Thanks so much, everybody. Take care.